I'm Up the FN Ducks, and thank you for joining me as I continue my team-by-team preview of the 2022 World Cup. And today we're looking in this episode at Central America, and in particular Costa Rica. You can catch my other team previews and analysis on the channel, and if you'd be ever so kind as to drop a like or subscribe, it would make you a World Cup legend. Without further ado, let's take a look at Costa Rica. Now, Costa Rica is a country with a population of over 5.2 billion people, with 334,000 of those living in San Jose, the capital. So to help indulge you in Costa Rica, I prepared a few fun facts about the country. Now, Costa Rica was once a Spanish colony before it gained independence in 1821. The country's name, Costa Rica, actually means rich coast, which was from Christopher Columbus on his discovery, where he told everybody that the natives wore a ton of jewellery in gold around their necks. And finally, the Costa Ricans love their coffee, and fair play to them because so do I. It is one of their most exported products and enjoyed all around the world. But now let's have a look at the football. Costa Rica do always tend to be underestimated in a World Cup group, at times to other nations' peril. Take 2014 for instance, when the group of death that included the giant World Cup nations of Uruguay, England and Italy. Costa Rica not only qualified through to the knockout stages, they actually went and won the group with 7 points, didn't even lose a game. And what a year that was for Costa Rica. After a penalty shootout victory against Greece in the last 16, their fortunes reversed as they lost to the Netherlands in the quarter-finals on the end of a penalty shootout loss this time, moments away from a semi-final. It represented their best ever showing at a World Cup. 4 years ago, however, they were unable to repeat their heroics, as they went out in a group stage which included Brazil, Switzerland and Serbia. Outside of the World Cup, Costa Rica are 3 times champions of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, but have not been in the final since 2002. This will be their manager Luis Fernando Suarez's 3rd World Cup, an astonishing achievement by the 62-year-old who led Ecuador to the last 16 at the 2006 tournament, and Honduras 8 years later when they failed to get out of the group. He's been quoted as saying the World Cup is an obsession, and that's why he had to accept the Costa Rican job. The playoff win over New Zealand earned him a contract extension with the nation until 2026. In his managerial career, he has managed in both North and South America, in both club and international football. With Costa Rica, he has secured 14 wins in his 24 matches in charge. A couple more in Qatar to see him out of the group stage would go down very nicely in Costa Rica indeed. In qualifying, it went right to the wire for the Costa Rica national team, with 7 wins and 4 draws, enough to secure a 4th spot and the playoffs, but wasn't enough to overhaul the United States in 3rd, who had the same points but a better goal difference. And goals were scarce in general in Costa Rican games, with only 3 scored and 8 conceded in their 14 matches. It was an incredible winning run in their last 4 games for Costa Rica, which sealed their path to Qatar, including wins over Canada and the United States to overhaul Panama, who actually ended up in 5th. Pushed Costa Rica into an intercontinental playoff with a representative team from the OFC qualifying section. This happened to be New Zealand, and the two played in a single match in Qatar. Costa Rica secured the final spot of the World Cup with a 1-0 victory thanks to a Joel Campbell goal in the 3rd minute. Very strong at home but struggling away was a fair assessment of Costa Rica's qualification progress, winning 5 out of the 6 matches at home, with only a draw against Jamaica and a loss to Mexico blotting their copybook. Away from home though, only a win in El Salvador when it really mattered a game from the end was their main takeaway. They also secured 3 0-0 draws away at Mexico, Panama and Honduras. Goals were in general a difficult problem away from home, as Costa Rica only picked up 3 in total from their 7 away matches, a worrying stat heading into Qatar. Now, looking at how Costa Rica might line up, and Luis Fernando Suarez has flip-flopped about with his formation during the qualification period, opting most often for a 4-1-4-1 that can become a 4-2-3-1, even adopting a 3-4-3 on occasion. For game 1, I think they'll go with a 4-1-4-1, so let's see how they might fit that in. In goal, they're likely to line up with long-term goalkeeper with a whopping 107 caps, Keylor Navas. He currently plays at Paris Saint-Germain and will be backed up by Esteban Alvarado and Patrick Sequeira. More experience again in defence, which is a theme throughout this Costa Rican squad, with Francisco Calvo and Oscar Duarte with 145 caps between them at the heart of the centre defence. Add in Bryan Oviedo, once of Fulham of course, and now of Real Salt Lake, with another 74 caps to add to that. And it's right back Carlos Martinez who is the newcomer, with only 5 caps, but he has impressed with his appearances so far. Youngster Jurson Bennett is a hot prospect currently playing with Sunderland in the Championship. He may well start in the midfield with Yeltsin Chejeda and Gerson Torres, who play together for Costa Rican side Herediano. In the attack will likely be Anthony Contreras, unpicking to be flanked by Celso Borges and Joel Campbell, with a massive 272 caps between those two. Johan Venegas will also be hoping for minutes and knocking on the door. It's generally a squad with huge experience or relatively untested newcomers, an interesting mix. Now, looking at some of the key players, in Qatar 2022 will be the final hurrah of a dazzling career for Bryan Ruiz, and a reward for a Costa Rican ace who has made to bid his time before getting his chance to strut his stuff on the global stage. He didn't make the 2006 FIFA World Cup squad, and he suffered the heartbreak of USA's last gasp equaliser in the final game of the qualifying in the 2010 edition for South Africa. 16 years on, missing out from 2006, Ruiz is the national team's most capped player, and he lies 4th in the nation's all-time scoring charts with 29 to his name. While a late arrival to the global football extravaganza, the most talented player probably ever produced by Costa Rica has been rewarded for his admirable patience. He exacted revenge at Brazil 2014, hitting key goals in the matches against Italy and Greece. What I'm sharing with you here is his player profile from the Football Manager game. It shows his attributes, and the ones in bold are key to his position. Now, at the ripe old age of 37 and having lost some of the pace in his earlier days, Ruiz remains a classy performer who boasts excellent vision and an eye for goal. Despite his ability as a formidable attacking force, he doesn't shirk his defensive responsibilities either. Another key member with a lot of experience who also lit up in Brazil 2014, Borges offers real balance. While Ruiz brings bags of talent to the table, his midfield teammate contributes in all areas of the pitch. He is also getting on and has been dogged by injury in recent months, but he still remains a potent physical force for Costa Rica. The midfield master possesses an impressive array of tools that allow him to contribute in all facets of the game. He works hard to recover possession, initiates many of the team's attacks, and provides a threat in the opposition's box. He's featured 153 times for Costa Rica, and is their most capped player. And with 27 goals, it places him just 2 strikes behind Ruiz and a couple ahead of Campbell. Talking of Joel Campbell, he is a player that many Arsenal fans will remember from many moons ago. With a long list of loan deals while with the Gunners, he did play for Arsenal in several occasions. He now finds himself in Mexico with club Leon, having had a loan season with Monterrey in the 2021 to 2022 season. 119 caps for Costa Rica, which has already included 2 World Cups in his pocket. He scored in an impressive opening win against Uruguay 3-1 in 2014, and now has 25 goals to his name in Costa Rican colours. He prefers to come in off the right-hand side, but he can also play up front. He's a strong dribbler, and at only 30 he's still one of the major threats in the Costa Rican squad. Now, looking ahead to the matches on paper, and it's a very, very tough draw indeed. But Costa Rica will point to 2014 to remind everyone they're not here just to make up for numbers. Spain are up first and have a strong manager in Luis Enrique and a clear possession-based game. It's a tough opener, but could they prey on Spanish opening night nerves to set up their group hopes? Maybe. Second up, it's Japan, who qualified again strongly out of the Asian Oceanic section and possess a number of top players who play their craft in some of the top European leagues. If that's not hard enough, then one of the World Cup giants await in Germany in their final game. All 3 sides will be wary of Costa Rica providing a perceived shot to stall or maybe even end their country's World Cup hopes. Now it's prediction time, where I ask the question, where do I think Costa Rica will end up in this year's World Cup? Well, if you haven't seen my other Group E previews, I'm settling for a shock in this group, but I don't think it'll be caused, unfortunately, by Costa Rica. I do believe Japan may hold the key to knock out one of the European giants, but it would be naive to rule out Costa Rica entirely. With their experienced squad, don't count them out so easily. And with that, I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you're interested in more of my upcoming World Cup team previews, please check it out on the channel. But for now, take care, and I hope to catch you soon.